In a time of fear and oppression, a baby named Moses defied a cruel decree. Hidden in a basket and set adrift on the Nile, his fate became intertwined with the future of his people. Raised in luxury by Pharaoh's daughter, Moses would one day discover his true heritage and embark on a remarkable journey. From prince to liberator, leading his enslaved people towards freedom. Once upon a time, in the land of Egypt, there lived a baby named Moses. Back then, life was tough for the Israelites, Moses' people. The king, Pharaoh, was scared of how many Israelites there were, so he made a cruel rule. All newborn Israelite boys had to be taken away. Moses' mom wasn't having any of that. To protect her precious baby, she hatched a daring plan. She made a basket, nestled Moses inside, and then gently placed it among the reeds by the Nile River. While bathing in the river one day, Pharaoh's daughter spotted the basket. She heard a baby crying and peeked inside. Her heart ached for the little one, and she decided to raise him as her own. So, Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, living like a prince, even though he was truly an Israelite. But as Moses got older, he saw how unfairly the Pharaoh treated the Israelites. They were forced to work incredibly hard and were often treated cruelly. This made Moses really angry. One day, he even saw an Egyptian guard beating an Israelite slave, and in a fit of rage, killed the guard. This terrible act forced Moses to flee Egypt. He ran far away and lived in a foreign land for many years. Then, something incredible happened. God spoke to Moses from a bush that was on fire, but somehow wasn't burning up. God told Moses to return to Egypt and convince the Pharaoh to let the Israelites go free. Going back was no easy feat. The Pharaoh wouldn't listen to Moses at all. So, God sent 10 awful plagues to make the Pharaoh change his mind. There were frogs everywhere, gross bugs, and even a time when it was dark all day long. Finally, after the worst plague yet, the Pharaoh gave in and agreed to let the Israelites leave. Moses led his people out of Egypt, but their journey wasn't over yet. When they reached the Red Sea, the Pharaoh had second thoughts and chased after them with his army. But Moses trusted in God. He stretched out his hand, and the most amazing thing happened. The sea split in two. The Israelites walked right through on dry land, while the sea stayed parted for them. Once they were safe on the other side, the sea went back to normal, trapping the Pharaoh's army behind. Freed at last, Moses and the Israelites traveled for a long time until they reached a special mountain called Mount Sinai. There, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, which were important rules for living a good life and treating each other with kindness. Moses' life was extraordinary, filled with adventure and miracles. From a helpless baby in a basket, he grew up to be a courageous leader who freed his people and showed them the way to live with fairness and kindness.